Okay, let's talk about someone we all know. Maybe it's even you. We're talking about the strong friend. You know, the rock. The one who's always got it together no matter what. But what's really going on behind that wall of strength? Today, we're going to explore the hidden psychology of the silent pillar.
So let me just ask you straight up. Are you the person everyone calls when things fall apart? The one who'll listen for hours, dish out advice, and somehow remember every single detail of everyone else's drama? If you're kind of nodding your head right now, yeah, you're in the right place.
And this, right here, is the big paradox, isn't it? You spend your life pouring your energy into everyone else's cup, only to find that your own is almost always empty. It's this deep imbalance, and we are going to unpack exactly what that feels like and why it happens.
To really get a handle on this, we're going to use a metaphor for this person. Let's call them the silent pillar. I mean, think about it. They're the one holding up the entire social structure around them, quietly, consistently, and without ever asking for a thing.
So, what exactly is a silent pillar? Well, it's someone who is an absolute pro at giving support, but a complete beginner when it comes to getting it back. And it's not that they don't need it. Of course they do. It's just that they've built this life for themselves, where asking for help feels, well, it feels basically impossible.
Does any of this sound familiar? You're the one who always answers that 2 a.m. phone call. You're a master of saying, "I'm fine," even when you're totally not. You're the biggest cheerleader for your friends' wins, but you quietly hide your own losses. You're the default crisis manager, and somehow your own problems always get pushed to the side, because they just seem smaller. These aren't just little quirks, you know? They are the classic signs of the silent pillar. It's a pattern of always showing up for everyone else, often at the cost of showing up for yourself. Now, from the outside looking in, this person seems incredibly strong, like superhumanly resilient. But on the inside, as we're about to see, that strength carries a massive and almost totally invisible weight. And this is the question that just echoes in the mind of the silent pillar, right? It's that quiet, lonely thought you have late at night after you've just spent another hour on the phone being a therapist for a friend. It points to this really deep, unmet need for someone to just show up for you. Just look at this. The contrast is wow. On one side, you have this constant stream of output, unconditional support, a listening ear, crisis management, you name it. And on the other side, nothing. A total void. The pillar doesn't ask, so the pillar doesn't get. It creates this emotional economy where everything flows out and almost nothing flows back in. And if we were to put numbers on it, it would look something like this. A staggering 95% of all that emotional energy is flowing outward. That tiny little 5% they get back, that's probably just a quick, "Hey, how are you?" where nobody even waits for the real answer. This is not sustainable. It is a one-way ticket to complete and total burnout. And this is why we have to start seeing this for what it really is. This isn't just a strong person being strong. It's a carefully built system, a whole architecture of silence that's been designed piece by piece to keep their own needs, their own fears, and their own vulnerabilities completely under wraps. So, the big question is, why? Why do people fall into this role? What's really driving it? Well, now we're going to peel back those layers and get right to the psychological heart of what makes the silent pillar tick. Because, the easy answer is to just say, oh, they're just a really, really nice person. So selfless. But the truth is, the psychology behind it is usually a lot more complicated and honestly a lot more painful than just being nice. And here it is. This is the core fear, right at the center of it all. It's this deep, nagging belief that your value to other people isn't just for being you, it's conditional. It's tied directly to how useful you are, how well you listen, how good you are at solving problems. The terror is that if you stop being the pillar, the love will just disappear right along with it.
Let's actually give this a name. Let's call it the utility bind. It's this trap you fall into where you subconsciously believe that love has to be earned through constant service. You feel like people love you for what you do for them, not for who you are. And that turns all of your relationships into a nonstop performance.
But here's the good news. This pattern, it doesn't have to be a life sentence. It is absolutely possible to change it. So in this last part, let's talk about how the pillar can finally start to find their own voice and, learn to actually be heard. And this means we have to completely reframe how we think about vulnerability. That first moment where you finally admit, you know what, I'm not okay, That's not a sign of weakness. It's not a crack that signals collapse. It's an opening. It's the first time you're letting a little bit of light into that architecture of silence.
So, where do you even start? Well, it begins inside, just by acknowledging that your needs are actually valid, that they matter. Then, it's about taking one tiny risk, to share one small truth. Maybe it's as simple as saying, hey, I can't talk tonight, I'm completely wiped. That's a huge first step. It's about slowly, bit by bit, redefining what strength even means. Not as being unbreakable, but as having the courage to finally let yourself be seen. And this all leads to this incredibly powerful realization. It's like giving yourself permission to think, you know what? I don't have to be a pillar. I'm allowed to just be a person. And being a person means being messy and having needs and being just as worthy of support as everyone else you help.
And let's be super clear here. The goal isn't to stop being a supportive friend. It's not about becoming selfish. It's about expanding that amazing circle of compassion you have and finally including yourself inside of it. It's about turning a one-way street into a real two-way relationship of mutual care.
So we'll end on this question. Who supports the pillars of the world? If you are a pillar, the answer has to start with you. And if you rely on a pillar in your life, the answer also starts with you. It's really a challenge for all of us. Check on your strong friends. Ask them. And really truly wait for the answer. Who are you leaning on? Thanks so much for joining me.